Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
People do not realize the work that they do here, and it just helps. It helps the city so much.
It's really sad that they're possibly shutting down someone's livelihood and the good for the city.
A close-knit family business is in jeopardy of closing down after the city canceled their contract. Thanks for joining us. Mike has the night off. Valley Recycling has worked with Valley City for the past 6 years to reduce people's waste and save the environment. Valley News Team's Krista Boehm looked at why the city's choosing to cut out a local business to look for another one.
Paper, plastic, aluminum, it's all been a part of Marcia Fall's life since childhood.
I've always participated in recycling ever since I was young. My dad used to do the scrap metal and aluminum cans, so we used to go and help him crush cans and stuff.
Since 2009, Valley Recycling has been Marcia and her husband's livelihood, working with the city until a letter was handed to her. Not meant for recycling, but for something else.
They issued us a letter stating basically that they were canceling our contract.
The city tried to negotiate with Marcia on their contract for the last year, which required 2 recycling spots. But after problems with the second location with illegal dumping, Marcia closed the site down. Now the city says it's looking at any and all bidders, other recycling businesses to take over, wanting to push for more people to recycle.
We are pro-recycle. We want to increase the recycling tonnage in Valley City, and we just believe that our relationship with Valley Recycling would not promote that.
I just feel like they kind of went behind our backs, and we do fear that they're trying to bring in a large company.
In a city with less than 7,000 people, Marcia says a second site isn't needed right now. But the city disagrees.
If you have people that are reluctant to cycle that live on the north side of town, they will not put that stuff in their car and bring it to the south side of town. However, they might do it if it's a block or 2 away from them.
Both sides wanting more people to step up and divide their trash to save the good, but at a cost for business.
I'm out 3.5 years income. We have not really been given the chance to further ourselves and grow.
In Valley City, Krista Boehm, Valley News Live.
Now, Valley Recycling's contract is done after 30 days. The city says it's opening up bids in a couple of weeks to see who matches more of what their commissioners are looking for, and they hope to have a company in place as soon as possible. Well, people in Valley City contacted us about this, concerned about this. If you need help uncovering any fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, 701-237-6576, and leave your tip. A judge says changes need to be made to Minnesota's sex offender program and ruled it unconstitutional. The ruling comes after hundreds of offenders in the program filed a class action lawsuit. The judge says that the program essentially keeps these people behind bars, offering them no way to complete a treatment program and be released. Governor Mark Dayton says that he believes the program works, and by all indications, he's going to be appealing the ruling. But right now, few things are happening in the wake of this.
We know that they're going to be concerned with public safety, recognizing the individuals that they're dealing with, and we're waiting to hear ultimately what types of measures will be put in place.
Moorhead's Lieutenant Jacobson says they're in a holding pattern, waiting to see what actually changes. As for the court ruling, the judge ordered a meeting for early August with Minnesota lawmakers and top officials to begin discussing how to fix the offender program. Buried in the education bill that passed in Minnesota earlier this month is a measure that requires the state to examine and develop statewide swimming resources. It sets the stage for Minnesota to become the very first state in the nation to require swimming in public schools. The legislation asks the Commissioner of Education to establish a work group of stakeholders and report back to the legislature on current swimming resources and what it will take to make swimming available to all children in public schools. Now, while there is no guarantee a mandate requiring swimming for all children will pass, some swimming advocates who pushed for the bill believe the state is headed in the right direction. Moorhead continues to grow north and south, but some people want to know when downtown's going to be revitalized. Some think certain buildings in downtown are an eyesore. The city recently made a tax exemption available to certain zones downtown, hoping more people will invest. Moorhead City Council members and employees say downtown is a work in progress and it's starting to gain interest.
If you really stop and think about it, we have a lot downtown already. We just need to kind of fill in the gaps a little bit more, and we're working on it.
I think our answer is that we can see downtown development and redevelopment in multiple areas. It's just working with the private sector, working with those kind of parties that can do projects and do work and want to develop property and do more than what's there today.
We reached out to one of the owners of multiple rundown properties there, and he says he has intentions to develop, but he needs funding and ideas. NBC and Brian Williams have come to a tentative agreement that will keep Williams at the network after his 6-month suspension ends in August. Williams will not be returning to the NBC Nightly News anchor chair. Instead, will have a new role. Now, Lester Holt will then become the permanent anchor of Nightly News. Williams was suspended in February for storytelling exaggerations. The details of his new role are, as of now, reportedly unknown to all, except for a very small number of executives. But NBC is likely to make an announcement about this tomorrow. A way to eliminate poking, guesswork, and making IVs easier. It's called a vein finder, a device that can show exactly where your veins are using a special infrared light. Valley News Team's Macy Inger joins us now with more on how it's a crucial piece of technology to the Sanford Pediatrics. Macy?
Yes, Stephanie, most kids hate needles, but 9 out of 10 times this device can find a good vein, meaning only getting poked with a needle once. And Sanford experts say that makes the children's experience at the hospital much less frightening.
This is a really good spot.
That small square of red light is showing an X-ray of Jada Peterson's veins.
You can see everything.
The 11-year-old isn't fond of getting shocked, but this device caught her attention.
Because it wouldn't hurt as much.
It can pinpoint exactly where your veins are.
Dads especially are very excited about the product. They'd like to handle it even after we're done.
Jada's mom is a registered nurse at Sanford and says this vein finder is a tool used over 50% of the time a child needs an IV.
This is a way that we can show them this is what we're going to do to help you feel better, and this is where we're going to put that special magic straw in your vein to give you that special medicine.
It's even more important when working with a child who's dehydrated because veins are harder to spot.
Maybe we can get this process rolling a lot faster.
For the patients, it's a cool way to learn about the body.
I like that you could change it
while still getting vital medical attention.
What are we having?
Now, these devices aren't just for kids. Sanford Hospital uses it for adults with narrow or hard to find veins and older patients. Now, if you're at Sanford Hospital and know it's difficult to find your veins, you can ask for the device to be used. Stephanie?
Very interesting, Macy. Thank you. American Red Cross or United Blood Services says they do not have a device like this. United Blood Services says staff members are trained in finding veins, and they recommend not to give blood if you tried a few times and have a hard time giving. After 29 days on the run, a dog named Kentucky has finally been found. The runaway dog made his way into a live trap in a North Fargo neighborhood last night. He's safe and sound, no injuries. Citizens, airport employees, and Homeward Animal Shelter employees have been trying to lure him with food for weeks. Kentucky was taken from a hoarder and was in the process of being transferred to a new home when he took off. Well, the YMCA of Cass Clay is partnering with Legacy Elementary in West Fargo. The Y is going to provide before and after school programming for your kids starting next school year, and summer programming beginning in 2016 for K through 5 students. Registration for the program opened today, but if you missed it, it's okay. Just pay a visit to the Y's school age offices. It's located at 1132 28th Avenue South in Moorhead.